more than 175 years ago. One man wrote a book that would change the course of human history. His ideas inspired revolutions, overthrew governments, created superpowers, started wars, and shaped the lives of billions of people. Today, some people blame communism for the deaths of millions. Others insist true communism has never actually existed. One side calls it humanity's greatest failure. The other says the world has never actually seen it. Both can't be right, can they? So, what exactly is communism? Where did the idea come from? What did Karl Marx actually believe? And perhaps the biggest mystery of all, why did so many countries claiming to build communism end up looking nothing like the society Marx imagined? Today, we're separating history from politics, from propaganda, and from myth. By the end of this video, you'll understand not only what communism is, but why people have spent nearly 2 centuries arguing about it. To understand communism, you first have to understand the world that created it. It's the early 1800s. The Industrial Revolution is transforming Europe. Steam engines power factories, railroads connect cities, production explodes. For many people, it feels like the future has arrived. But for millions of workers, the future looks very different. 12-hour shifts become normal, sometimes even 16. Children work beside adults. Factory injuries are common. Many families barely earn enough to survive. Again, this wasn't every factory or every country. Working conditions varied widely and gradually improved in many places through labor reforms, unions, and economic development. Still, for millions of workers, life felt unfair. The rich appeared to be getting richer. The poor stayed poor. A question began spreading across Europe. If workers create the wealth, why don't they share in it? One man believed he had the answer. His name was Karl Marx. Karl Marx wasn't born into power. He wasn't a military general. He wasn't a president. He was a philosopher, an economist, and a journalist. Marx spent years studying history and economics. The conclusion he reached was surprisingly simple. Every major period in history was defined by a struggle between social classes, slave owners versus slaves, kings versus peasants, factory owners versus workers. Marx believed capitalism was simply the newest chapter in that story. In 1848, he and Friedrich Engels published a short book called The Communist Manifesto, only about 23 pages long. Yet it would become one of the most influential political writings ever published. But here's something that surprises many people. The society Marx imagined looked very different from what most people picture today. Let's clear up one of the biggest myths. Did Marx want government to control every part of your life? No. Did he want people to lose their clothes, their furniture, their toothbrush? No. Marx made an important distinction. Personal property, the things you own and use every day, was different from what he called private property. Private property referred to productive assets, factories, large businesses, railroads, mines, industries that generated profit by employing workers. Marx believed those productive assets should belong collectively to society. Why? Because he believed workers created the wealth, but owners received most of the rewards. His ultimate goal wasn't simply more government. In fact, his final vision had less government, much less. Marx believed that after society passed through a transitional stage, economic classes would disappear. Eventually, governments themselves would no longer be necessary. His famous principle became from each according to his ability to each according to his needs. So, if Marx imagined a society without a powerful government, why did nearly every communist country end up creating one? Here's where political debates often become confusing. Many people use socialism and communism as if they're identical. They're not. In Marx's theory, socialism was the transition, communism was the destination. During socialism, the state would play a major role in managing the economy while class divisions gradually disappeared. Communism, according to Marx, would eventually become classless, stateless, and organized around meeting human needs instead of private profit. Modern democratic socialists usually mean something different. They generally support democratic elections, private businesses, and market economies while advocating for stronger social programs, labor protections, or public services. That's why two people can both say the word socialism and mean completely different things. No country has ever claimed to fully achieve Marx's final vision of a stateless communist society. Instead, several countries established governments led by communist parties that said they were building socialism on the path toward communism. The Soviet Union became the first major example. The government nationalized industries. It industrialized rapidly. It became one of the world's two superpowers. But it also developed a highly centralized state. Political opponents were imprisoned. Independent media was restricted. Forced labor camps operated for years. Millions died during different periods of Soviet rule, including during famines and political purges, though historians continue to debate the causes and responsibility for specific events. China followed after the Communist Revolution in 1949. The country dramatically expanded literacy and industrial capacity over time. But policies like the Great Leap Forward contributed to one of the deadliest famines in recorded history. The Cultural Revolution brought years of political persecution and upheaval. Cuba, Vietnam, North Korea, each followed its own path. Each claimed to be moving toward communism, yet each developed very differently. Today, China and Vietnam still have communist parties in power, yet both rely heavily on markets and private businesses. Which raises another fascinating question. If modern communist countries use capitalism to grow their economies, what does communism even mean today? So, what is communism? It's an economic and political philosophy developed by Karl Marx that envisioned collective ownership of productive property and, ultimately, a classless and stateless society. Communism is far more complicated than a slogan, a meme, or a political insult. It's an idea that reshaped the modern world, inspired revolutions, fueled the Cold War, and continues to influence politics today. Understanding it doesn't require agreeing with it. It requires understanding the difference between an idea and the history of those who claim to put that idea into practice. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to subscribe to Decoded Media, because next time, we're tackling the other side of the debate. What is capitalism?